Our role model of today, Courtney Hirsch, is all about scaling a creator-led media company called Jomboy Media, of which you are the CEO. And you're also the mom of three littlies. And we'll talk about being a working mom, a CEO, how you keep your sanity, and how to build a creator-led media company. Courtney, welcome to We Can. Thank you for being here. Tell us all about Jomboy Media. What is it and what do you do?
Sure, I love that intro. Jomboy Media is a creator-led sports media company. So what does that mean? It's we create content that is community first and really led by our creators' passions, which to us right now is majority sports. What my role is as CEO is to build, run operations, drive revenue, and build the business around the creators so they could do what they love doing and do best, focus on really building community through content. And I'm in charge of creating a scalable, diversified business around them.
Courtney, so go into some more detail. What does all of that mean?
Sure. Okay. So it means we create a lot of videos, podcast videos, YouTube shows, social media accounts, and we're constantly putting out content, a lot of it that has creators' faces attached to it, or it's led by a creator's point of view.
Mm.
And what my role here, I first joined because I have my background in advertising sales. So the first way that we knew how to monetize the business was through direct partnerships with brands. So I spent a lot of my time bringing brand partners on board and they sponsor our content. And now we've really scaled the business. I've moved into naturally more of an operational role. I became the COO in 2023. And then in this year, a couple months ago, I think we realized that I was doing the CEO role. So I got the title change for kind of the role I was already been doing, which was really nice and meant a lot to me. But I lead a very fun and dynamic team. It's like a 60-person company. We are all together in our New York City office location, and we are building a media company, a sports media company in a way that's really never been done before because it's the strategy is led from the ground up. So the creators lead the strategy. I build the business around it. Sounds simple, but the old school way of running a media company is the executives lead the strategy and they make the content decisions and they say, okay, we're going to launch a soccer show and then we're going to launch a show about basketball. And here we've kind of flipped that on its head, which is really unique because I let the creators lead the strategy. I can't really tell you a lot of what we're doing 6 months, a year from now. People say, oh, are you going to get into soccer? And I need a creator that's passionate about soccer in order for us to even think about it. So the way we're scaling the company is through creators. We hire creators that fit the Jomboy Media tone, that can participate in a lot of the company content initiatives. And then we let them go and we build a business and build IP and build shows around them.
Amazing, Courtney. And I think everywhere where we look right now, it's the creator-led economy, isn't it? And those are the new Hollywood stars. So give us some insights or those main learnings that you have from building a business that is from the ground up.
The main learning I have is you really have to stay true to yourself.
Mm,
And that is the hardest thing to do when
yeah.
you scale because there's going to be opportunities that come up that are very lucrative or would make for a splashy headline. And you have to really deeply prioritize like who who you are as a creator. And like my job is making sure that our creators, our brand never veers from how we started and that we're always putting the community first. And that is hard because that is not how a lot of media companies are built. A lot of media companies are built putting their revenue partners first, putting their advertisers first. And I have learned that in the creator business, your endorsement, your reputation is really all that you have. And our community, they're smart. They will see right through anything that feels off or fishy. So we've turned away a lot of brand partners because we felt like a easy short-term revenue win was going to be really damaging on the long term because it would ruin the reputation we had with our community. And for us, it's community first, full stop, like no discussions about it.
So are there commonalities between those creators that are really successful that you could share with us?
Oh, sure. Yes, there is a successful model I've seen for creators, and it is so fun to work with them because they are nonstop. They have an internal drive.
Mm.
They are so excited to come to work every single day. They are not driven by money in any way. They are driven by creating and delivering value to a community of people and building a community around them. And that's what I've seen make a creator really, really successful.
So, talk to us about your journey, Courtney. How did you get into advertising sales and then on to Jomboy Media? What are the pivotal points in your
Yeah,
journey?
sure. So I'm from New Jersey, New Jersey girl at heart. I'm the oldest sister, one of four kids. I moved around a lot. The first school I finished was university. So I that really defines who I am because I'm super close to my family, resilient, adaptable. I got all of those skills throughout my childhood, how to build rapport quickly, but moving so much. And I wanted to work in New York City and I got a job through a connection in an advertising sales office and it was a dream come true. I was the receptionist. My title was a junior sales assistant. And my dad said, "You have junior and assistant in the same title." I've never heard that before. But I was in awe of everyone around me in advertising in New York. And it really was a dream come true. And I learned quickly that what drove me was making an impact. And the clearest way you can make an impact is to get into sales. Work hard, sale, revenue on the board. Your name, revenue on the board. It was direct results. And that's what really motivated me. So I built a pretty successful career in advertising sales. And then my brother, he started to create content about the New York Yankees. A friend gave him $20,000. He quit his job and he started tweeting about the Yankees and created a community.
Wow.
And I was an early investor in his company, always believed in him. He's a creative genius. I was working at Uber at the time in San Francisco. And then I moved back east and we decided that I was going to come work for him, which was crazy because I was like the older sister that was like straight and narrow corporate type. My brother was kind of more of like a wild and free, non-corporate, like very creative, not motivated by like money or success or status, like really did it for like his enjoyment. Never ever did I think we would work together. So that was the end of 2020 when he knew that he needed to start monetizing and putting infrastructure in. And it was just like, wait, like that's my sister's whole career is selling ads. So it made sense for me to join. And I I think when you have a small business, like you don't even think about the infrastructure, right? Like first it's like thinking about the product. And that's what my brother did. He built an amazing product. The second is like, we need to get money in the door. And that's what I came in and focused on just getting money and revenue. And then naturally built the infrastructure and the operation over time, which led me to the COO and then the CEO seat. And I would say another pivotal moment that defines what I'm doing right now is I started posting on social media I've been doing it for 2 years. I kind of got really serious about it 6 months ago. and getting real about showing up about who I am. And I'm a mom of three. I'm a CEO. I'm the founder's sister. And I talk transparently about all those things online, what it means to have an intense job, and also how you can be present for your kids. And that's a big part of my life right now is building this online community of moms that love being moms, but also want to go all in on their career.
Courtney, let's move on to that. And you do that so well online. And I guess authenticity is one of those key things that you possess, but other people that have sort of also personal brands possess because people can smell it immediately
Yeah.
when it isn't, right? So talk to us about building that personal brand a little bit and maybe also draw on all the people that you see at Jomboy Media and your brother. What are the differentiating factors of people who do it really well?
I would say the first thing is you just have to show up. I think
Mm,
there's a lot of advice online that says have a strong point of view, find your niche, know what your content pillars are. And that's all great advice, but not in the beginning. In
mm,
the beginning, you just need to show up and do a video over day and put in the reps and build the muscle and find out what you enjoy talking about and what resonates with the community. So I don't think you need this I actually would suggest don't have a super strict plan going into it, but have a commitment and have discipline. And all that's what I see from the creators here. They know that this is a nonstop job and they have the discipline to do it. The content I'm doing is very different than the content they're
yes.
doing, but we're both have a commitment to keep on showing up online. And I think that's the biggest thing. And be okay sucking at something at first,
Mm,
right? Like it's fine to be terrible at something. That's the price of doing something new and knowing that you'll gradually get better as you put in the new reps. It's hard online because you get the direct feedback right away, right? So you post something, you're like, oh, like that didn't come off well. Like those comments aren't, oh, that's not how I meant it. But you have to keep on showing up and doing it again.
Courtney, so I'm in my mid 50s. So I need to, if WeCan is doing really well. We have 5 million listeners, but this thing of showing up always as the face of something is really hard for my
Yeah.
generation because we haven't grown up with it. And so
Hmm.
I always think, they always tell me, oh, you have to create content while you do something else. You feed your dog or you do whatever. And I say that's not authentic though. The authenticity bit is that I am in fact sitting in my office 10 hours a day and I record a quick video. But yes, of
Yeah.
course, maybe that's a bit boring. So I always think, there's a lot of things. How does one strike the balance between the authenticity thing and the things that seem to work better than other things?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that I've tested a lot of things, right? And I see that sometimes I tried something and I'm getting a good response.
Mm,
And I'm like, I actually didn't enjoy doing that.
hmm
Or like, I don't want to do that
mm,
every day or talk
mm.
about that every day. And that's my first filter. I really don't lean into but that's what my audience is wanting from me because I'm thinking about longevity and sustainability. And if I don't want to talk about that, that is going to hinder me from showing up every day. So you really have to lean into the things that you're like, can I talk about this every day for the next year? And if it doesn't pass that test, I would say just scrap it.
Yeah. Courtney, so let's talk about being a CEO and a mom, and you show up beautifully online. You talk about your sanity savers. Give us your sanity savers and give us this picture of how you show up online as this role model CEO and mom.
That's awesome. I don't consider myself a role model, but it's flattering to hear that. I think that I wasn't, I'm always about being transparent. I was nervous about how transparent I was going to be
Mm,
online
Mm.
because what I noticed, the moms in my town were talking about all the conversations. And I live in a town with a lot of working moms with, they're very career ambitious. A lot of the people in my town have multiple children. They're very family oriented. And what we're talking about when we're at the playground is, oh, so how much, what is your nanny schedule? And how do you do drop-offs? And how do you do pickups? And who's getting dinner on the table? And oh my God, I found this new laundry service that all I have to do is drop it out my door and you're going to love this. And that, like, we are talking about survival tactics, right?
Mhm.
We're like, what does your morning look like? Tell me about it. Like, I remember a new friend, she was telling me that she had her nanny come in early just to clean up she did the drop offs, but then she had someone in help clean up like the after school chaos when like all the mess was just like left out. Right. And I ran to my husband. I was like, see, like this is why we're drowning. Like people have more help. Right. And like those are the conversations that in my real world people were leaning into. But online, those are not the conversations that were being had online.
Yeah.
And I felt like my entire career, I was inspired by many women that were career ambitious, but that they did not talk about being a mom at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah. So I really was like, no, my identity, like I want to be known as a mom. Like I
Mm.
love that identity. And
Mm.
I want to be known as a CEO. And I could like you could be both, but with help and resources
Yeah.
because I've tried to do it all. And that is a recipe for burnout, crying every night,
Yeah.
just have panic attacks. No. So you could do it all with help and resources. And that's how I try to show up online is being super transparent about how you can get it all done and to release the shame and the guilt that moms have for outsourcing household tasks. And
Yeah.
that is my happiest messages. I get chills thinking about it when I get messages from moms that say, I've lived in shame
Mm.
because I wanted to get a housekeeper or a house cleaner, or I wanted someone to come and help me meal prep. And society's saying, you're less of a mom. And it's like, no, that's the reality of so many successful women. Why aren't we talking about this?
Yeah. Definitely. Courtney, I love something you said. If you want a village, you need to be a villager. Talk to us about that.
Yeah. I I think this is from my perspective kind of a recent phenomenon where everyone is so wrapped up in their boundaries
Mm.
and their nuclear families and really just protective of their time. And I think there's some inflexibility in how we live in a community now. And I've learned that I moved back home to the East Coast because I was in San Francisco with two kids. Me and my husband both had careers, and we didn't have family support. And I moved back east because that is a huge game changer for all of our lives. And I got really sick the past couple of months, and totally fine now. But I had a lot of people help me, and I never would accept like a friend watching my kids during the week or something like that is a crazy thought to me. And I accepted it because I was in such need.
Mm.
And it really was a smack in the face reminder that, like, if you want a village, and I'm so grateful, like, you drop off soup when your friend is sick. You
Yeah.
go to that birthday party when you're
Mm.
like, I really don't want to get five kids, like five of us out of the house right now. Like, no, like you show up for your friends. And I think there's a lot of give and take, and we need to get back to that community building and give. You want the support system. It does take a little bit of work to invest in it.
Yeah. Courtney, so what does success look like for you?
Success for me is professionally, it's building a company that is growing, is profitable, but is one that stays true to who we are and puts our community first. And if I built a business around my brother's passions, other creators' passions, that's serving the community, that's giving my employees a place to grow and learn and we're profitable, like that is like I'm doing my job. That is success for me. We're only a couple years in, so I expect this to go for a long time. Um, Personally, success for me is being really present in all of my roles. That's what I'm working on a lot. I want my kids to say, my mom was present. She was engaged. The time she did spend with us at home, we fully had her attention. And I also want to show them that you can go for your career dreams and you can have an identity outside in addition to being a mom, because both are great.
Yeah, definitely. So, what makes you feel motivated and inspired?
So one is those messages that I get from other women definitely motivate me to keep on showing up, saying, "Oh my God, no one's talking about this. Thank you so much for being transparent. I hired a house manager, changed my life, got hours back with my kids." The other motivator for me is definitely my parents are a huge motivator. I think maybe it's like an oldest daughter thing. You're always trying to, but they gave me such a great and blessed life. But they also taught me that nothing was ever going to be handed to me.
Hmm.
And if I wanted a great life, I was going to have to work for it myself. And they motivate me to keep that momentum going for my kids. Like I want to give them as good of a life, even better life than I had, but I also need to show them that you need to work for it. Like I don't
Yeah,
want them to be entitled and I want them to have the drive for themselves to find their passions and find
yeah,
success. So that those are like really big motivators
yeah.
for me.
And what are your deal breakers? Where do you
Deal
have hard
breakers,
no's? Mm.
hard nose. So I have a lot of non-negotiable moments with my kids. And I that find that really freeing. I intentionally think about when and where I non-negotiably will show up. For me, that's if my child is there's a special, there's a holiday sing at school, they're going to be on stage singing. Oh, I will be there with my phone, or like with bells on. If they're in a talent show, like any like thing that they are doing, like I will be there. Like Halloween is a big thing. It's a big family thing. It's a big American thing. Like I'm running out of work for Halloween, right? So like I really define those. But no, am I going to be volunteer at the bake sale? I'm not. And I used to feel bad about that and feel a lot of guilt and shame about that. And I just really let that go because there are trade-offs and it's the trade-off I chose. Like I have an intense career. So I can't show up to every single little thing at school. I chose that trade-off and I'm fine with it because I have the bigger picture excites me.
Courtney, so what are the plans and goals? What is the really big vision for Jomboy Media?
Jomboy Media, our vision is to keep on creating sports fans and build a tight-knit community. So we in June we announced a unprecedented deal with Major League Baseball. It is the first time a major league has ever invested in a creator company, which is wild. And it's a whole new model for the way
Amazing.
things are going to work in the industry. And why did they invest? Because not only do we serve baseball fans, we create new baseball fans. We bring
Yeah.
people to the game with human storytelling and accessibility. And if you're a Fringe fan, we're pulling you further in. We are now taking that skill and we're applying it to new sports. So our guys are a cricket channel called That's Cricket. I think the Ashes are right now. They start late at night. So they're like live streaming all through all hours of the night. But we are going to grow cricket in the US, second biggest sport globally. And we are at the forefront of growing the game here. So we can take this skill, right? From baseball to cricket. We built our own sports league, the Warehouse Games. We create our own sports. It's backyard sports. It's quirky, it's fun, it's amateur athletes with ESPN level production. But we're taking this unique skill of creating fans, and now we're doing that to our own sports league, our own reality show. The sky's the limit there because we own all of our own IP. We are not tied to outcomes of a league that we don't control. We no longer will have an off season because everything's going to be in our season because we are creating original content, our own sports league, our own IP. A great comp for that people can really anchor onto is what the WWE has built, right? And our tone is different, but if you think about that, they have IP that they monetize internationally that's built on intense fandom and community. And that's the vision for Jomboy Media in our own way.
It sounds so exciting, Courtney. I'm literally like, oh my God, this is amazing.
It's
What
exciting.
are
That's why
you
I like
most
run to
excited
work.
about? What are you most excited about?
I'm I'm excited about keep on going. Like what I love about this company is that do we have a 5-year plan? No. Do we have a 10-year plan? No. I have a long-term vision, which I just described,
Yeah.
and I have every day we're going to be better than the next day.
Mm,
And if we, did a huge execution around All-Star this year, 2025, our what we're going to be doing in 2026 is going to be better than that. What we're going to do 27 is going to be better than that.
mm.
And that is what motivates me and keeps me excited and keeps us really nimble. Because in order to be creator led, live on the internet, oh, you better be nimble and adaptable.
Yeah.
And sticking to these 1, 3-year, 5-year plans, that's not going to work. And that's really not the type of company I thrive in. I'm like an in the mix, chaos, doing things type of person. So that really is what excites me to come to work every day.
Yeah, you're in the perfect industry. I mean, the
Yes.
exciting thing is that it's an industry that's not been done before. So everything you do is innovative.
Oh, yes. It's so funny when some people are like, well, how have you guys done it before? How do you historically do this? I'm like, what? Oh, we're figuring it out right now.
Amazing. So, what takeaways would you like our listeners to have from your story, Courtney?
The biggest thing is you could be a mom, you can be fully present and engaged with your family life and your kids, and you can go all in on your career, but you cannot do it all. You cannot
Oh,
do it all alone. You could do it all with help, with resources. Create your village. And also, it's okay in today's day and age to pay for a village. Build your village however you need to build your village.
Courtney, I love your story. Thank you so much
You.
for showing up with your survival tactics for busy moms out there. I'm so excited for Jomboy Media. I think this is a brilliant conversation because most young people that I meet and that I speak to want to become creators for obvious reasons. So this
Yep.
industry is just, we don't even know where the ceiling is.
That's true. Just the beginning. Thank you so much for having me.